together. Many of you may remember the last drama, Noah's Ark, that we performed a couple of years back. Ever since we did that drama, the young ones have been asking to do another one. So the idea came up again during one of our family studies. We were listening to the drama and just imagining who in the congregation could play these different characters. The next thing I knew, we were having our first casting call back in October of 2010. So, our young people have been working very hard for the last 6 months to put this together. We practice every Sunday afternoon. Several families volunteered their homes for us to use. So please help me to thank Katie Cade, the Horton family, the Morton family, the Getta Tessma family, and the Shaws. Before we practiced, we always opened with a word of prayer, and afterwards we served refreshments and gave the children time for a wholesome association. Over their vacations and breaks from school, we also held several rehearsals. Certainly there were lots of other ways that they could have spent their free time. However, they chose out of their own hearts to be involved in this spiritual activity. Preparing for the drama was not only about learning their parts. They also had to do research and learn why Jehovah responded to Pharaoh the way that he did. The kids wrote down what they learned from the drama, and some of them included their artwork. We will have these on display for you to read and enjoy after the program. They were also asked to make their own costumes. This provided yet another opportunity to use these projects as part of their family worship. So again, please help me to thank Pat Morton, Dixie McGrew, and Sister Gloria Freeman for their sewing expertise. As you can see, we painted backgrounds and spent months scouting around thrift stores and gathering props, borrowing them from other friends' houses. Those that we couldn't find, we made. After the performances, feel free to come up onto the set, take pictures, and have a closer look. It really took the help of the entire congregation to make this happen. You took time out of your busy schedules to come and support our young ones. As mentioned in the programs, your contributions of food and monetary support are very much appreciated. Speaking of the programs, these were designed and printed by Elizabeth Gant. Aren't they beautiful? Now at this time, if there are any young ones who would prefer to sit up closer, we have a few seats in the front row, or if you would like, you are welcome to sit Indian style right here in the front so that you will be able to have a closer look of the program. You can sit here with your parents' permission, and parents, please only allow them to sit there if you feel that they will be well behaved and not distract the program. If any of the young ones have brought their My Book of Bible Stories book, please bring it with you when you come up to the front or sit Indian style on the floor. That way you can follow along as we go through the plays. So you're welcome to do that at this time. Also, if any of our young ones have brought their My Book of Bible Stories book, they should see me right after the drama for a special treat. Okay, we have received many good gifts from Jehovah. So without further ado, here is our gift to you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the drama.
The Bible book of Exodus, chapters 5 through 15, records a drama that has thrilled lovers of that name for generations. It is the story of Moses and the Israelites released from slavery, led up out of Egypt with a vast mixed company of others. It is a drama in which God's own name is involved. For according to Exodus chapter 9, verse 16, it took place in order to have Jehovah's name declared in all the earth. And since the Bible later promises that Jehovah's name will again be made known in our day, this thrilling story still involves us some 3,500 years later. Listen.
Almighty Pharaoh, Lord of the city of Noth, potent of arm, living forever, life, prosperity, health. Two men, Moses and Aaron, who say they represent the Hebrews and their God Jehovah, request audience with you on a matter of utmost importance to both our great nation and their miserable interests. Almighty Pharaoh,
bring them before me. Hotep, demand of these idlers the reason for this intrusion.
Oh, Moses and Aaron, how dare you slave agitators be so bold as to appear before Pharaoh, our Holy One, majestic in appearance, mighty in strength. Speak, Moses, but weigh your words carefully.
Aaron, tell Pharaoh the words Jehovah has commanded.
O Pharaoh, this is what Jehovah, the God of Israel, has said. Send my people away, that they may celebrate a festival to me in the wilderness.
Jehovah? The God of Israel? Who is Jehovah? So that I should obey his voice to send Israel away. I do not know Jehovah at all. And what is more, I'm not going to send Israel away.
Aaron, tell Pharaoh why we must go.
O Pharaoh, the God of the Hebrews has come in touch with us. We want to go. Please, a journey of 3 days into the wilderness and sacrifice to Jehovah our God. Otherwise he may strike at us with pestilence or with sword.
Why is it, Moses and Aaron, that you cause people to leave off from their works? Go, bearing your burdens. Look, the people of the land are now many, and you make them desist from their bearing of burdens.
Thunder. We believe Pharaoh will not listen.
Send Jehovah's people away, shall I? Send Jehovah's people away? Lazy slaves, relaxing. Hotep.
Yes, O Pharaoh.
Are we still giving those Hebrew slaves straw with which to make bricks?
Yes, Pharaoh.
No more. Make those Hebrews work. Command the slave drivers and their officers to let the slaves gather straw for themselves. Moreover, the required amount of bricks that they were making formerly, you will further impose upon them. You must not make any reduction for them because they are relaxing. That is why they're crying. We want to go. We want to sacrifice to our God. Let the service be heavy upon the men. Who is Jehovah that I should send his people away?
Consequently, the people scattered about over all the land of Egypt to gather stubble for straw.
No more straw. Get straw for yourself. Pharaoh has commanded. Wallow in that stubble. Make those bricks.
Don't cry for me, Michelle.
Finish your works. Each one his work.
But how can we make bricks when you don't give us any straw?
You too, boy. Day for day, just as when straw was available. All of you, gather that straw. Make those bricks. And you there, get back to work. You too, old man.
Why did you treat us so different?
All of you.
Because we are
Gather that
different.
straw.
How are we different, Father?
The cry is, we're different because we are people called by Jehovah's name, and we are no part of Egypt.
Would they treat us nicer if we were Egyptians?
Perhaps, but Jehovah wants his name to be known. He will show his hand against the Egyptians, and we must endure until then.
And then we'll go?
Yes, dear, and then we'll go.
Good.
Look, there's Moses, Aaron too. Troublemakers for all of us.
May Jehovah look upon you and judge, Moses and Aaron.
Why did you have to go in and speak to Pharaoh? You made us smell offensive before Pharaoh and all his servants.
They'll kill us all.
And you told us we'd be delivered. Better off the way we were.
My dear, dear brothers, O Jehovah, why have you caused evil to this people? Why is it that you have sent me? For from the time that I went in before Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has done evil to this people, and you have by no means delivered your people.
Moses, now you will see what I shall do to Pharaoh. Because on account of a strong hand he will send them away. I am Jehovah. Speak to Pharaoh everything that I am speaking to you.
Thus it was that Jehovah spoke to Moses. Jehovah was determined that all, both Israelites and Egyptians, see the real issue that existed, the war between gods. How would Jehovah's name be exalted above all others?
Now, Aaron, Jehovah has commanded that we meet Pharaoh this morning right here at the Nile River.
But Moses, he won't let the people go. He thinks he's a god himself. Why must we continue to do this?
Aaron, have courage and faith. If we do the work Jehovah asks us to do, he will bring the results in his due time.
Well, may it come soon, my brother. May it come soon.
Perhaps sooner than Pharaoh thinks, for Jehovah is going to turn the Nile River into blood.
Why, that will ruin it. Kill the fish. The Egyptians will suffer from
A
thirst.
blow to Egypt's gods that they won't forget for a while.
Here comes Pharaoh now. Look at those priests, Jannies and Jambries. They stick to Pharaoh like leeches, just to resist us and to make Pharaoh's heart harder. The hypocrites. Look, they see us.
There's Moses. Moses! You troubler of Egypt and idler of my slaves! Are you so bold as to now disturb even my river worship? Does your Jehovah still have a word for me? Perhaps he has changed his mind now and decided it would be wise and safer for his people to send me an apology, or perhaps even a blessing.
Aaron, tell Pharaoh the words of Jehovah.
O Pharaoh, Jehovah, the God of the Hebrews, has sent me to you, saying, send my people away, that they may serve me in the wilderness. But here you have not obeyed until now.
Who is this who commands Pharaoh to obey?
This is what Jehovah has said. By this you will know that I am Jehovah. Here I am striking with the rod that is in my hand upon the water that is in the Nile River, and it will certainly turn into blood.
What blasphemy against the
And
river.
the fish will die,
Of Egypt be
and the river will actually stink, and the Egyptians will simply have no stomach for drinking water from the Nile River.
Draw from their water vessels. Aaron, take your rod and stretch your hand out over the waters.
Am I to cower before Hebrews? Are the gods of our river to be shamed into?
By the word of Jehovah.
Look! The rod pours blood into the river. No, look. All the river is getting thick and red. Pharaoh's water vessel.
Priests, I see for myself what is happening. Put a stop to it. Call to the gods. Make the water pure.
And the fish that were in the Nile River died. And the Nile River began to stink. And the Egyptians were unable to drink water from the Nile River. And the blood came to be in all the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh turned and went into his house, and he did not set his heart to have any regard for this either. And all the Egyptians went digging round about the Nile River for water to drink, because they were unable to drink any water of the Nile River. And 7 days came to be fulfilled after Jehovah striking the Nile River.
Almighty Pharaoh, Lord of the city of Nob, potent of arm, living forever, life, prosperity, health. 2 men, Moses and Aaron.
Bring them before me. I know why they're here. Ah, Moses and Aaron, have you come to see the foolishness of what you have done? The priests of Egypt have duplicated your simple trick, and there is not water anywhere, not even for you.
Aaron, the word of Jehovah.
O Pharaoh, Jehovah has said, send my people away, that they may serve me.
Jehovah! Jehovah! Why doesn't Jehovah speak for himself?
Quiet, Mutep. Tell me, Aaron, what will Jehovah do to me if I do not send the Hebrews away?
If you keep refusing to send them away, Jehovah will plague all your territory with frogs, and the Nile River will fairly teem with frogs, and they will certainly come up and enter into your house, and your inner bedroom, and upon your couch, and into the house of your servants, and on your people, and into your ovens, and into your kneading troughs, and on you, and on your people, and on all your servants the frogs will come up.
Has the water in the Nile already been so thoroughly restored that it will teem with frogs?
Come